Hey guys, Wandering Beast here, and I've got kind of a treat review for you. This review, believe it or not, is 4 years in the making. This is a knife review video that I don't usually do a lot of knife reviews. If you've watched the channel for a long time, you know that there's very select few knives that I absolutely love, that I trust, I vet them, and then I just keep them. I don't have any need to look for another one. And about almost going on 4 years now ago, Schrade got a hold of me and asked me to test a couple of theirs. Now, I treated this more of like a test scenario, village bicycle. I gave this knife out to many people's hands over the last 4 years, and happy to say it did finally make it back to me. Part of the reason this review took so long is people get busy, they don't get a chance to use the knife or do the review for their own channel. But after 4 years, it's still one of my go-to knives. This thing was strapped to the KLR back a few years ago when I was still doing long motorcycle two-wheeled adventures. It is currently living now in the vehicle preparedness box. I'll put in a quick shot, but hands down, for the money, I love this knife. Let's talk about it. All right, now taking a quick look at the knife, I've got a little fat wood here just on the sheath. It's one of my preferred methods that you can find over here. The little kangaroo pouch does have a fire striker in it with your own. We'll talk about the knife here in a second, but if you don't want to use the knife, just strike that, and then a small sharpening stone, which has seen some use. She will put an edge back on there. She's a little bit small. We'll talk about that in a second. And of course, standard sort of nylon affair. Again, when you go see the links and the price point, absolutely fantastic sheath for the price point that it is. Nice button retention here, and there's the well-worn and well-loved blade. Absolutely fantastic, beat on by a number of people over the last 3 or 4 years, and still going strong. Now, originally, before I sent it off to be tested by other folks, I did put this little lanyard on here. I like just having just enough to get an extra grab, a finger, if you're going to try to do some chopping with this. A little bit of a finger choil, if you will. She's pretty chunky, and I'm going to say the same thing I said in my high desert tactical blade from Tops knives. You know, I don't really see the need for a full 1/4 inch on a lot of these. I would love to see a form factor of this in, you know, maybe even just an 1/8. I do trust the steel enough to get whacked and to be bent. The tip on here, we'll give a little close-up, but the tip is doing great. A little bit of rust on this carbon steel, and of course coating's wearing off just a little bit. Now the handle, originally I didn't care for. I didn't think it gave a lot of traction. So if you can get kind of a detailed in there. I thought it was going to get chunked away and broken just by simple batoning and, you know, standard wood affair. If you look up here, just up near the hilt, see a few wear marks that are coming down, but it has actually performed very well. A little bit of just sort of grip serrations underneath there, thumb ramp grips here at the top, but very balanced. I've had no issues with this. Like I said, the spine on here, you can see some of the coating has been removed from the simple fact that most of us still prefer to either use that spine to create some fat wood or with a ferro rod. And we'll do some close-up shots here as I talk about it. All right guys, couple minutes there on the sharpening stone. You can see it brings a pretty good edge. A little rusty, a little rough here when we started a few minutes ago. And it'll focus, there we are. You can see definitely a nice little serviceable edge. Tip is good. We've got, you know, definitely sharp enough to get some work done. All right guys, I know there's plenty of knife reviews out there that go into higher detail about this thing. I really wanted to get across a couple bullet points. Price point is huge with this one. You know, I would not go and spend the $200 for a Tops high desert survival knife if you're just getting into bushcraft, if you just want to have a truck knife, if you've got a son or a daughter that's really getting into their woodscraft out in the woods and you want to have a good knife that can do a little bit of everything. You know, everything in life is a compromise. You know, the thickness of this negates it for being a great food prep. but it'll do it. You know, the length of this is big enough that it'll chop, add a little bit of lanyard, just I feel safer getting a couple fingers in that. So when I hold the end here, she will chop pretty good. You know, for an all-around woodsman, survival knife, bushcraft, I don't know if you can beat this. You know, the amount of hands this went through to see if we could, you know, put a dent in it to get it to break. The tip hasn't even broke off. And I'll see if I can insert a lot of the video from some of the friends that not all of them had YouTube video channels. A lot of these were just woodmen, hunters. I've had this through quite a few hands over the last 4 years. This is the SCHF37. And again, varying variations of this tip and blade steel in a couple different lengths as well, depending on what model you get. But they are all very well made. I'm a believer in Schrade now, especially again for the price point, what you get. Now, don't get me wrong, I love some of my nicer knives, and I still use them on a regular basis, but he can't beat this. On the motorcycle, when I don't want to carry an axe, this is my go-to. One knife does everything. Again, compromise is the key to the world here, and you know, you're going to find something that maybe you don't like in your knife. I'm curious to see what you guys think of this blade, whether you would try it, what you consider your go-to knife, and yeah, I'm going to keep beating on this thing for years to come. Wonder Beast with Schrade. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.